0%.
By the time I decided to stop it, it become I was physically addicted, and also spiritually, I really couldn't function. I didn't know how to live without it. I worked as a drug and alcohol counselor at UCSF. What really fueled it was my own journey with substances and my journey in sobriety. I started drinking at 14. I was using it as a crutch kind of from the very beginning. So I knew at some point it was going to become an issue.
Alcohol is, the most common and actually one of the more deadly drugs. I'm Matthew McDougall. I'm a board-certified neurosurgeon. I'm also the head of neurosurgery at Neuralink. There is no safe amount of alcohol to drink. It's a neurotoxin. A small amount is a little dangerous. A large amount is very dangerous.
Everything from drunk driving to spousal abuse, say, are tied to alcohol use.
It's a depressant. The drinking didn't allow me to mature and develop.
It kills off some number of brain cells per drink.
They don't tell you about the increase in risk for all the different kinds of cancer that you might get.
In the scientific literature, there's a tendency to favor the publication of studies that condone the behaviors that scientists like to do. And so you'll see a wealth of papers discussing how a little bit of red wine is actually good for you. It's not the case that drinking moderately is healthy for you. It is the case that drinking a moderate amount is moderately dangerous. And that fact has been inconvenient for people to acknowledge openly for a long time. The culture changes over time, and I think you are seeing that culture is moving away from glossing over the harms of alcohol.
Opening the first non-alcoholic bar and bottle shop in San Francisco, the first one on the West Coast, and one of the first 2 or 3 in the entire country, has been one of the most amazing things that I could ever imagine participating in.
San Francisco as a whole is like a pretty mindful community. So there's been a big shift in people just trying to moderate.
In 2021, when I opened, I was like, this is probably gonna take about a year for people to really get. And it was dry January of 2022 where I could see like a noticeable difference in the customers that come in. I could show them this whole wall of bottles and let them know that it exists and what it looked like. I could see like what the public awareness was of the category and like how it was growing over time. And now that this place is almost 5 years old, it's like, it's a household subject now, which is very different than 4 years ago.
It's been an interesting trend to see. We've seen a huge uptick of customers looking for alternatives or just totally cutting back on alcohol as a whole. I'm the store manager of the new bar in Kalaalo. Instead of someone going to a liquor store looking for like a non-alcoholic beer, there might be 1 or 2 options. Customers are coming to us to find a safe space that also offer so many different drinks. People can come and have like a third place.
Always had a very thoughtful non-alcoholic program that has been way ahead of the curve.
I'm Josh Harris, owner of Trick Dog in San Francisco. In the last few years, I've seen the velocity around being a more open-armed society to people who aren't drinking alcohol become much more prevalent.
If you're a bar today and you take what you do seriously and you do not offer a thoughtful non-alcoholic program, shame on you. I think it will only become more common and there will be more pressure on establishments to take this part of their program really seriously because the demand from their guests is going to be too high to ignore.
The reason I got into the non-alcoholic beverage industry is because I geeked out on liquor, beer, and wine as a bartender for a little over 20 years and loved it. And then I stopped drinking. Choosing to take alcohol out of my life freed up a lot of brain space, because with alcohol it was what I would think about on any given day, and it was about 80% of my life. So when I took out alcohol, that left a really big space to fill.
There's a cognitive dissonance around things that are extremely common and yet bad ideas. In the case of alcohol, it's a cultural preference. If we had a culture where it was normal to smoke crack cocaine, we would be telling stories about how great it is to have a crack pipe at the end of the day. Because that's not part of our normal culture, we don't tell those bizarre stories the way that we do about alcohol and the way that we used to about cigarettes.
The pendulum swings towards wellness. People are just kind of like more aware, more conscious. That's also why the alcohol industry is being disrupted.
I had long enough periods of darkness that I had to choose to change my life or risk being in darkness forever.
I had to relearn to do everything. I mean, I never performed sober. I never dated sober. I never done life sober at all. No wine or no booze and nothing. Just had to do it. And I don't need any of that, you know. And I just thought I did for so long, and now I actually enjoy it. I remember it. I can savor it all. It makes life feel more rich.
I have 21 years of sobriety. I'll have 22 this year. It was the best decision I ever made in my life. And it's kind of funny that I made a career in the drinks business, and now this many years later, we're sitting here talking about how exciting the frontier of non-alcoholic products and non-alcoholic cocktails are. It feels like a really sort of validating chapter.